Welcome to the Agents of the Unexplained podcast. From a haunted abandoned asylum to Sasquatch lurking in the dark woods and watching you, and all things unexplained, here are the stories from outside our realm. With your host, Bill Rigby.
Hey everybody, it's me and Mike, and Jamie King will be here shortly. We actually got Mike in the show. I'm excited about it. He's taking some time off from his worldly duties.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Mike, you have been working a lot, and
I have been.
I really appreciate you trying to get on this now, even though we dog each other.
Right.
Hey, Mary Fabian's in the house. Can you believe that?
There we go.
Yeah, let me do this. I got my phone's acting stupid. There we go. Hey, I'm even on my page. But anyhow, let me throw this one out there. We're going to do this open forum. We're going to get whatever we can going. Jamie King's going to get it. Oh, there he is. Let me bring him in the studio. There's my man.
Hi, Bill.
Hey,
Hi,
Jamie.
Mike. How's it going?
It's going. Let me start off with this. Gary Gerhardt and Albert Walker and I went on a little research this afternoon. Well, the problem was we went to the one area. I talked to Jamie about it, and that one structure that I fell in love with, because it's more natural than animal or man-made, but you can tell stuff was going in there and staying in there. Well, it's collapsing. We stayed in the area for a little bit, left there, went walking on down the tracks, and kept checking things out in the woods. Thought we saw something. I ain't saying what it is because I don't know. But we went just a little bit farther, stepped down off the stones. It's a little drop. And told Gary, go up just a little farther. It's not as steep. Well, he came down where he was coming. He started to go down. I caught a hold of him, and I'm backing up a little bit. He's 240 pounds. I'm 175. So his force was pushing me back a little. Well, his left knee gave out. That's all it wrote. Down he started going, down I went, and I hurt a rib. So if you see me going, ooh, you know why.
So you had a geriatric trying to catch a geriatric.
Bill, I'm going to feel bad that I showed you that area.
No, don't feel bad because we're going back.
You should. Grab your walker and go back out there. You should.
Hey, I was doing good till I had to catch Gary.
I mean, that's no joke. That's a long way, and it's a long way back if you're injured.
Yeah, and I felt more bad for Gary because he
I
hit
bet.
harder than I did, with all honesty. But we saw some stuff in there.
Nice.
And I go to Gary at one point. I go, get your binoculars out. Look. And he got his binoculars out, and he says, because I see this too. It had a good shape to it. And I'm thinking, well, maybe uprooted tree.
Oh, geez.
Uprooted tree. I went, damn it. There was a good sighting. But anyhow, Yeah, Angel, I know I'm old. And, jeez, these people are being so mean to me. What can I say?
Yeah, it's totally unprovoked, I'm sure.
Oh, maybe. But anyhow, I'm all excited about a couple things. Anyways, what?
My truck's locked.
You got the key in the
Yeah,
truck.
well, the driver's side. Oh, I gotta get my gear ready in case I gotta roll out. It's that
Uh,
time. I gotta hop in my beast there.
yeah, he's at work, Jamie.
I was
But-
gonna say he could be going out researching.
Oh no, I wish.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
on until tomorrow night at 9:00.
I've never actually seen anybody on a podcast walking around.
That's all he
Yeah.
does. That's all he does. We walk around. And a few times he says he's out in the woods. He's in his backyard.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, you're starting something.
Yep.
Gotta get the shop locked up. The boss had he leaned over the hood of a car over in the bay and he popped a hernia tonight. So
Oh,
he's doing really rough, and I told him I would lock up before there's a AAA call.
good.
That's
We're going
why
to
we-
lose you again.
Yep, I got to take off for a minute. I got to see what's going on. That's two they got stacked on me now.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I'll be back.
Bye. But anyhow, I'm kind of excited. A few of the people you referred for the conference, they're
Yeah.
coming. They are
That's
coming.
good. That's very good.
And hey, there's Mary Heath out there.
Hi, Mary.
Uh, I don't know who said, don't worry, Bill. They must be on the other, or don't worry, Mike, they'll pick on me for you. But all right, folks, it's open forum. I brought Jamie in because, more experience about just about everything for me. Mike Hartman, when he can hang, because he is working, he said he'll try to stick around. He has a lot of experience, and these guys can help with this open forum.
So, Bill, I mean, I like the fact that you went out to that area. So it's good that you're like checking it out in all seasons.
Right.
Yeah, that's like micro studying.
Exactly. And like I told those guys, I haven't been there since late spring, early summer, because the way things kept going on. And this past fall, I couldn't get out.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to cheat here a little bit.
What are you
It's a
going to cheat with?
lockout, so I'm going to take the van and literally roll the dice that they do not put a damn toe on me while I'm gone. So that way I can at least, the van's quieter. If I drive at International, I got to log out. You'll never hear me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to do this with the van, which it's about 20 minutes to the call, 20 minutes back. So that gives me a 40-minute window.
You got it.
And hope to God they don't put a toe on me in between or I'm screwed.
Hey, look at this.
Do I have
On
my
the screen.
lockout? Yeah. Yes.
Does that say Jenny?
Yeah, it says hi, Jenny
Hi,
King.
She's at work.
Yeah. I'm glad she's working hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, micro studying that area. And I felt really bad that I haven't been able to get out there like I was there on a regular basis. And then seeing that structure kind of
Okay. There we
collapsing
go.
in. It was collapsing in. I was upset about. That's the one structure I didn't want to deteriorate.
Right. It can sometimes be disappointing when you go out and you find it like collapsed or something destroyed it. But it's also exciting too, like when you find those, to look around and you might find another one. Like that whole area, Bill, there's quite a few.
Right.
I can't say if they're Bigfoot made or human made, but they're very interesting.
We can't.
No.
We can't, until we see them do it, And now I debunked a hell of a lot of structures, just because the way they were.
Right.
And you always told me you better look at it at all angles and cover all the bases with any of this research.
Yeah, the only thing I can say is like out there on that peninsula is where I documented that one teepee structure that we kind of dubbed the cathedral. And off going towards the water, we found a print, and I have it documented with like photographs. So we have the cathedral that we call the cathedral, and then the footprint that we found.
Right.
So it's always good to look for that.
Believe me, we were looking for prints. Most of the snow was gone. But there was still somewhere the sun really couldn't get in there. But we were looking for impressions in the thick leaf beds and everything.
I'll be honest. I think Sparky goes out there a lot more than I do.
I think he does too.
Yeah, he's had a sighting of something out there, and he's heard stuff out there.
What is weird is, I just seen this. Gary said this. Yeah, it's your fault, Gary. I'm blaming you all the way. But as Mr. Peter in hand, it took forever to help us guys up. I mean, Albert. he was playing dog on a tree when we fell. and I didn't realize that. And I yelled for him, "Hell, come help me up." And it seemed like it took him forever to get there because I'm like a turtle on my back, like Gary Gerhardt's wife Dee said, because of my backpack. And when she said that, I started laughing. All did my rib hurt. And it seemed like it took him forever. And then he helped me up so we could help Gary up. And it was like, where's he been? And then he told us what he was doing. It's like, oh, geez.
So you were going down the railroad, like down off the railroad and then down.
Yes.
That is pretty steep. There's the areas that aren't as steep, but that's dangerous.
Yeah. And well, that second control box area.
Yeah.
When it's
yeah,
right.
The 138.
No, the other one. The other
one. Okay.
We were right near there, and it's not as steep near that one.
Okay.
And that's the way I went down first, and then I walked back toward where the trail goes in. And turn around, and I told Gary, "Come on, take a turn up here and go down." He must not have heard me. He really must not have. And he started down. He was coming down all right. All of a sudden, just slid out from under me, and he was going. So I grabbed him, and I had him up, and he's slowing down a little bit, but then his knee gave out, and he just twisted, and down both of us went.
Man, I hope he feels better.
Hey, look at this. Not Bill, but it's Jamie.
Oh, hi, Sean Forker.
Our man Sean.
7 miles.
Can't help but like Sean.
Mike is driving. Are you driving, Mike?
Yep.
I've never seen anyone on a podcast driving.
There's a first for everything on my podcast.
Yeah, it's kind of my second nature anymore.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is. He does lives driving down the road. And Gary goes, "We look like the Keystone Cops falling."
I remember those.
So if you get pulled over, you're like, "Oh, excuse me, I'm on a podcast."
Oh, well, I'm AAA, so I'm emergency services. I don't get pulled over, so
Oh, licensed to do whatever.
everything but speed within reason.
Wow.
But the texting and driving laws in Ohio, they don't apply to emergency services. And I kind of take it a little too far at times, but it happens.
But he's not telling you the secret to the rhythm on that one. They handle all the state police's cars when they break down or need something done to them.
Okay.
That garage. So they cut them a little more leeway.
Yeah, we do city police, Knox County Sheriff, and then Highway State Patrol.
Yeah.
So they
Suck
kind
And
up.
of
all the, and all the security at the colleges. But I'm actually headed for a Bigfoot area, so that's cool.
Where are
Wait,
you at?
what?
I'm not sure where you're at.
Oh, wait a sec. I'm in Knox County, Ohio, right now, Mount Vernon. Oh, shit, I can't turn around there. That's my competitor. They just removed the call off of me. So now I got to make a U-turn and go back to the damn shop.
So your competitor is taking a call.
No, the guy must have got in his car. So 9 times out of 10, when you get a lockout call, it's an old person that doesn't understand how a key fob works.
Oh no. Bill, do you know how a key fob works?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Where in the... There's nowhere to make a U-turn out through here. Literally, I'm on a state highway. I'm glad I made it this far for them to remove the call. Wait, I can go down Green Valley. That'll work.
Hey, they say stop for a donut and a hot coffee, Mike.
That sucks though, because they removed it. I was actually headed to one of my areas, so I was kind of excited. But rat bastards, I could drive out there anyways, I guess. But I gotta stay close to that tow truck.
Well, look at this.
I'm gonna freeze up a second. I gotta lock out of that call.
Go ahead, freeze up. I gotta say
Okay,
this.
I'm back.
Was that boxer Immaculate Conception?
What's
Let
that?
everyone know. Steve said, Donna said to let everyone know we're going to have boxer puppies in March.
Oh, my buddy he didn't have puppies, but his dog did.
Meh.
They're cute little snots.
I'm trying to see if anyone asks you anything, but no one's asking. They're just all getting a kick out of me falling.
Well, I'm going to bite my tongue on that one.
That's a first. But
I know.
the one thing I did notice about out that area, Jamie,
Yeah.
was that it was totally quiet. The whole walk was totally quiet. You didn't even hear a bird. Till right before we were getting to leave, you heard one bird, one little chirp.
Yeah. You know, like I think that's a good sign though. I think it's
Yes.
a good sign, Bill.
Um,
Did you do any kind of like vocalizations or anything like that?
I did one whoop, scared the hell out of Al
Okay.
because he wasn't prepared for it. I did do a couple tree knocks. That when I did the first one, there was one in return.
Was that? Shit, that was my turn.
Uh,
Hi, folks. Just stopping in. How you doing? Don't mind me. I'm just using your drop.
Well, just watch your mouth, man. We're P&G. Patterson, Gibble, and rated.
There we
What,
go.
Jamie? I said that left and right for a while. And I can't remember. Was Carrie Rupert or I think it was Carrie Rupert that said, "Oh, Patterson Gibbon." Yeah, you caught it. No one caught that. And
That was in the back of this van.
and Gary said he heard that one response to the tree knock.
That's good. Were anybody recording?
No, I didn't get my recorder out.
Oh
Actually,
my God.
What?
So you go in the woods, you don't have your camera ready, you don't have your recorder or your recorder ready, but you manage to fall down. I swear to God, I'm never going hiking with you. You're out of the club when it comes to hiking with people.
You're done, Mike.
I carry a recorder in my pocket and I wear a body cam. Jeez Louise. Get with the times, old man. It's 2023.
All right, here we go. Before you rip on me anymore, we got questions here.
Okay.
From Ghost Chick Angel. Hey, I was thinking last night, what do you think happened during wildfires to Bigfoot? I was out west last fall and everything was on fire, and I kept thinking about the wildlife and how bad it has to be on the ecosystem.
What do I think? I think that there's documented cases where even like during Mount St. Helens that they had Sasquatch. Monica can tell you about this. Monica posted about it recently, but during Mount St. Helens, they had seen, like, they said that an EMT had something under a blanket that looked like a Sasquatch. So I think that, I mean, wildfires, they're like a natural animal that can happen.
Yeah. I can't remember who had the documented and they shared it about Mount St. Helen, about them hauling burnt bodies out of Bigfoot.
Right, you can find it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure just put Bigfoot Mount St. Helens.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of documented cases of Bigfoots and the government not capturing, but hauling bodies out different areas, not just on wildfires.
I mean, if they're like keeper of the forest and stuff like that, guardian of the forest, they're probably upset about fires. Like any kind of like logging or anything, Marcellus Shale drilling, they've had sightings.
And that's the thing. The area we were in, that's a lot of new growth trees in there. It seems like there's some older growth, but a lot of the older growth ones are down.
I mean, if you go to that peninsula and you go further to the furthest point, there's a lot of old growth, but most of this is new growth. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was kind of weird. And when I'm saying new growth,
it's a good thing, though.
Say that again, Mike.
It's a good thing that the old growth was gone. Old growth forests are a son of a gun to bow hunt because there's never nothing in there. It's the new growth where all the green is and the forest is still young, that the floor gets green. That's where you clear cuts. That's where you find your mushrooms. That's where the best rabbit hunting is. That's where
wasn't
the most
clear cut.
squirrel.
That area wasn't clear cut, though.
That's okay. It's still good because it's going to make a spring food source. Old growth forest, I mean, I love them. I love to have them around. Don't get me wrong. But they need to be thinned out a little bit because once a tree gets so old, it quits producing nuts, it quits producing seeds. It doesn't make it. The canopy takes over, and the canopy doesn't let any photosynthesis happen on the ground. And that's why the ODNR here, we made deals with the logging trade. Like Wayne National is always clear cut, but it's in very particular tracks.
Yeah, that's like the Allegheny National Forest
Yeah.
too.
Yes. Yes. I understand that, but what's really weird, this was not clear cut
Right.
with all this new growth in there. I was noticing today. I didn't notice that time you and me went out there, Jamie, as much.
You mean it
But-
being quiet, or which part of it?
Being quiet in the newer growth trees. I'm not
Well,
saying
maybe
they're a year or two old. They're older than that. But they're not the super huge old growth trees.
Right. You probably notice it more because it's winter.
Right. Right.
I mean, yeah, that area I took Shane Spencer to is a lot of old growth that we went to this past weekend when I showed him some of my secret spots.
Yeah.
I love old growth, and it can be productive, but it's not as productive as a young forest.
Well, let me answer this question for Robbie Sherwood. There will be people there that can help you with those weird dreams, Rob. I think Tina can, right? He's having some really off the wall weird dreams, Jamie.
Yeah, I think probably any of those sites can help you with that.
Yeah.
Tina Besher, yeah.
Yeah. I believe, yeah, Tina's coming. She can help you with that. But
Oh shit, that was the sheriff.
And someone put doing controlled burns help bring back animals. Yes, on a controlled burn. But
Controlled burns are the best places to find mushrooms
yes,
or any forest fire. That it's always has great mushroom hunting the following spring.
and someone wants to know where's the secret spot. That wasn't me asking.
Well, my Google Earth is broke, and so my map it ripped, and my dog ate it. And yeah, I'm not. Even when I go there, I blindfold myself, so I couldn't tell you how to get there. But yeah, it's in Ohio.
Yeah, okay. I think it's in Indiana. But anyhow,
Oh,
what's everyone's thoughts on how Bigfoot makes wood knock sounds?
How they make them?
It's easy.
It could be just a clap.
Yeah.
It could be it could be rocks. Could be a stick, it could be anything. Are they asking how they make them or why they make them?
How?
How? I mean, there's all kinds of ways.
Yeah, a tree branch to a tree. Their big hand slapping a tree. I use my walking stick, even though I got a tree knocker in my backpack. I'm using my walking stick.
I found one once. I found this great big log that was up against a tree, snapped in half, and then right about 6.5 foot up the tree, you could see the exact width of that limb where it had smacked the tree and removed the bark right there. That was probably one of the coolest things I've ever found. That was at Salt Fork.
You know, like I remember being in Vinton County, right near Hocking County, and I was with Sparky, Jenny, and two of our friends, Monique and Todd, and we were hearing knocks and we were hearing whoops, but after the knocks, what was strange is we heard a tree uprooted out of the ground and thrown at us. So I was thinking like maybe those knocks are like a warning, and then that tree being thrown was definitely like something to get you out of there.
We had the exact same thing happen. It was early dusk. I was at Salt Fork. Me, H2, H3, and BK, and we had all split up. And two guys went on this hill, and me and the wife took the other hill. And all we were doing was literally conducting a test. We were going to go up. They were going to do one tree knock on the ridge across us, and we were going to respond. So they did their knock, which it barely heard it. I mean, barely heard it. And I had this great big tree in front of me that was hollow. It had been hit with lightning. And it burned out the center, and I thought it ought to sound like a bass drum. So I smacked it. And then right behind us came this knock from hell. Literally right behind us. And me and the wife turned around, and there was this wall of brush just being shook back and forth and back and forth. And we gone. I mean, we're like, holy crap, this thing's moving the whole woods. Whatever it was pissed off. So we just slowly made our way. I knew there was no going through that brush because I'd already been all the way around it in the past. There was no way you was going to get into it or be able to see every side. So I wanted to back out, get the other two guys, and get back up there. We met up on the road, and they're like, man, that was one heck of a knock. And I was like, yeah, that wasn't me. And I explained to them what happened, so we went back up the trail. And as we're standing up there, it had just gotten dark. And we had a tree pushed over, and then up this stream, you heard tush, 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 tush. But it pushed that tree over towards us. And I don't know what happened after that. You would have to ask the other guys. I got removed from the scene. I was holding Bob's 160-pound fat-ass black lab. And I was the only person with a flashlight. And I had that dog, my hand wrapped around its leash. And that thing took off like a rocket down the hill, dragging me behind it because I was about 145 pounds in. So I got dragged all the way down this hill, and this fat ass dog this thing couldn't stand up on a picnic table, but it jumped from the parking lot through the open window of a Jeep Wrangler, got in the back seat, and laid down. And Grant would not come out the rest of the night. And then I had to go back up the hill when I got him locked in the Jeep, get back up there because I was the only damn person with a flashlight. Why no one ever carries a flashlight is beyond me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the same thing. We were just doing a knock test, and then that led to a knock, which led to this huge wall of brush being pushed, which led to a tree being pushed over at us, which led to footsteps being heard in a creek. And then Grant ran to the Jeep, and he said, nope, I am not. That dog, you could throw out a hot dog, he was not getting out of that Jeep.
That's very similar, because when we were in Hocking Hills, we found there was a beagle that had been shot in the neck. So we were walking with this beagle, and when that tree was thrown, that beagle just followed us back to our cabin where we stayed. But it was like like one of those moments where you want to turn around and you want to see what just happened, but you're also like, this is not happening. I'm not. When a tree's thrown at you, it's a little bit different.
The other thing too, the time I took Venus with me to that wood over toward Cortland, Jamie, I told you about this. She was fine walking that 300-400 yards down the cornfield to get into the woods. Sure, she was sniffing things, checking things out. Tail was just a wagging. So when we got in those woods, man, she went on high alert.
Right.
And my gut, it was even telling me something ain't right in here. It's very bad feeling. I took a
Years
couple quick
ago,
pictures and we got out and we left. And once we got out of the woods, she was fine. All right, we lost Pennsylvania Bigfoot Project again.
ah,
For some reason, it lost it. But I don't know what's going on. It does that. Facebook kicks us out of there for some reason.
years ago, I ran Walker Coon Hounds, and my Jessie dog was documented by a judge that she had trained 365 nights. I took her out every night for an entire year, and I had it documented in the courts. Well, a buddy of mine wanted his new hound pup to shadow Jessie. So we were down in the Athens district of Wayne National. You son of a bitch closed. Jesus. And Jessie took off up the hill, and this little hound, and Jessie bawled, and I heard his dog bawl. It was mocking Jessie, and then both dogs went silent. And we finished, and I wasn't even in the Bigfoot then. I was just coon hunting. We got up there, and we looked and looked and looked, and all we found at the base of a tree was a collar that had been ripped off. And it was the pup's collar.
Oh, no.
I don't know what happened to my Jessie dog. I have no idea. I trained that dog. She was 4.5 years old. She won a state championship at the Coon Hunters Club. I was about to have her bred for pups, but never did find her. All we found was the pup's ripped collar at the base of a tree.
I don't like that.
No, not at all. All right. Randy Heath has a question, and I'm going to answer it real quick. 1 pound is enough. Hey, guys, I have a 4-pound bag of casting powder. Are 1 pound bags enough to cast a Bigfoot print? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even use casting powder anymore. I hate the weight of it in my pack because of how much everything else I carry. So I've learned that Expandafoam, that's what I've flipped to. You can see the dermal ridges in it. It makes a fantastic. It takes some practice. You want to make a footprint in your yard and practice with it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you put down a layer of Expandafoam, and then you rub it in with like a plastic putty knife. Then you go another layer, and then it's dry in an hour because it's activated by humidity. So it takes about the same drying time. But it weighs, the dried print is literally ounces. So when you throw it in your pack, I always put twigs in mine this way and that way to like make a structural support in the center of it. I love that stuff. I don't even use casting material anymore.
I'm going to have to try that. I got casting material. I don't carry it because, like you said, the weight. I got enough stuff for that backpack. I don't need.
I'll tell you another one that you can trade the weight out for. If you find a print that has absolute spot on gorgeous dermal ridges, you put talcum powder just a little bit, just like a frost, like a medium frost would be.
Okay.
Put that in the bottom of your print, and you take a roll. I carry it by the roll of window tint, and you cut it the size of the print, and you lay it inside. Then you take a 9-volt battery, you put an alligator clip on each end of the print, and you touch one wire to one end of the battery, the other wire to the other end, and that creates a static cling for that talcum powder. And when you lift it up, it looks like an X-ray of the dermal ridges. in
Oh, wow.
reverse.
I've
It's
never
pretty
done
neat.
that.
Josh Edsley said a buddy and him was out Saturday night and he had a sighting while they were split up. And Tommy says Jay Cooper showed them that. Jay Faust, that is. Yeah. All right, smart asses. Oh, that was Gary. So you was carrying the plaster, Gary. I think he was just plastered. Oh, but no, I'm going to try that instead of carrying plaster because that does get heavy.
It does. And if you, what I do is because usually that Expandafoam like is a one-time use deal because you know how
Right.
the straw, well, you cut the straw short and you carry 2 Q-tips and you tape them to the side of the can. And then you take 1 Q-tip and you clean out the end of the can, and then you plunge it through the straw out the other end, and then your straw's clean the end of your can, and you can reuse that can. And you can make about 3 prints per 1 can, maybe 4, depending on how big, depth, all that you want to go. But you can make several prints out of 1 can of Expandafoam, which costs $5.49, I think. So,
Bill, I've never used that.
Yeah, but
What's that?
imagine.
I've never used that. Yo, maybe put up a link to that.
okay.
Yeah, Mike. Why
I
don't you do?
think, I'm not sure. I'll have to look. I think I made a YouTube video of it
Put that
last year, but I'm not sure. But I love Alex Spindlefoam.
Hey, Angel goes, it's a freaking science fair tonight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I've tried some weird shit over the years. Anything to reduce weight. Because when we go in, like when I go to Wayne National, we do a backcountry camp because it's free camping on BLM land, Bureau of Land Management, federal land. So we park at a trailhead or at an access, and then we have to hike in with everything. But that means you got to hike in with your food, your bedding. So I got one of those hammock tent, the cot tent things. But yeah, you have to hike in with everything. And we go in half a mile or so, and you don't want to make 3 trips back and forth. So for us, it was all about cutting weight. And I've known guys who backcountry hunt that actually cut the handle off of their toothbrush and just use the head so that they can just to reduce weight. And it's all about weight reduction for me because the lighter it is, the more I can put in my pack.
Steve Blair goes, seen it demonstrate one time over at Jurassic Park there by Salt Fork.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Every time I go to Salt Fork, Jurassic Park ain't open. I've been wanting to go in there.
They usually do like events. Like they do the deer festival at the right before deer season. I've been to that a few times. And then you can book them for events.
Oh, okay. Steven says Meldrums did it too. So, yeah, it's definitely a thing to try. You know, I'm going to admit that it will be a thing to try. Yeah.
I've been doing it for years, and I love it. See, I didn't even know Meldrum did it. I never try to watch anybody else's videos or anything because I like the idea of mine being 100% original, and I don't ever want anyone to say, well, he stole that from me. So I never watch YouTube, all those videos. I never watch the TV shows, the documentaries. People try to talk to me about Bigfoot documentaries. It's like I have no idea what you're. I've not watched them. The only documentary I've ever watched is Legend of Boggy Creek. So,
Yeah. Well, you watch my podcast, so you even commented on it. So quit your lying.
yeah, I watch your podcast. You're the only person, and I hate to admit that. So I'm going to have to start listening to someone else's podcast now. But yeah, you're the only podcast that I do watch and listen to if I have time, and if not, I watch it later. But
Bill, that's a compliment.
I know it is.
I
It
know,
is.
and that's rare for me, and I feel like I should punish myself now, but I probably should. But geez,
Hey,
having to
Shane.
give Bill Rickney a compliment.
Oh my God,
Son of
life's coming to an end. But anyhow, Shane Spencer says he's used pancake mix, but he ate it before he got the cast back home. So yeah, foam sounds good.
I love him. He cracks me up. I love going to the woods with him. Oh, he's a trip.
Oh man, yeah, good. Yeah, Shane is. I like Shane. I can't wait to meet him in person.
I've told him about you. He don't want to meet you yet, but yeah, I told him the truth about you. I'll put it that way.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. I told him how the real Bill, but not the one you see on camera, but the real Bill Rigby is. Yeah.
Okay.
I just complimented you. I had to say something.
I know. That's why I'm biting my tongue.
He's
I will get even.
Oh, I know you will.
Just ask Gary Gerhardt. But I will get even. But Jamie, we're going to go somewhere else. Yeah. My wife, God bless her, she's thinking of the conference. And she said, you need something else to sell. I went, whatever. I got what I need. She says, no, I ordered this. 5 or 6 different style fairy necklaces.
wow, that's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
what's that noise?
letting my diesel warm up again. She got cold quick. So I'm walking away from it so that the noise won't. I got to let her warm up a little bit.
But anyhow, yeah. You know, some people don't know, but that's part of the unexplained is fairies. No, Mike, not the limp wrist type. We're talking real fairies.
Oh,
Oh,
here we go.
you thought she's going to have fun with that one. I ruined it for you. Wait a minute, Rob. My buddy Rob Sherwood. Hey, Mike, you want to hear about the real Bill? You guys need to talk.
Sounds
He's known
good.
me 40 plus years, and he knows that. But
I've already been conversing with Bob Walls, so
yeah, keep
he's filled me
conversing.
in.
There we go. There's my man, Bill freaking Murray. What's up, Bill freaking Murray?
Bill Murray, Bill saying hi.
He's like, yeah, I know. I saw him. Now love me up, Daddy.
He's getting antsy.
Yeah. Well, JoJo's in heat here, so Atlas is a real freaking idiot. He's driving us all nuts, and he's very antsy. Angel said this. That's interesting. Get pictures next time, Angel. Seriously. I want to see that. I just want to see the little feet, the footprints. That would be neat. We're out there looking for big ones in the woods. She gets those little ones on her door.
Oh, geez.
She thinks she has one. Angel got something big in the works too for Punxsutawney. That's going to be interesting. With her ghost chick and all the paranormal cryptid crap that goes around Punxsy. And she's right in the hot spot of it all. You know, they had Thunderbirds there. They had Dogman sightings, Bigfoot sightings, ghost sightings. You know, Punxsy got a little bit of everything, including a rodent that tells you the weather.
Oh. Pencil Tuck Chuck.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, good old Pencil Tucky.
That's funny because we don't even border Kentucky.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tony Cooper said that he encountered them in the woods. The green type.
Is he talking like the Fae, the fairy?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Jenny and I, we did an experiment one time at Shenango, a couple different times, where, like, if you're believing in Bigfoot, why not try to call in the Fae? And we've actually captured things on camera that were pretty cool.
Yeah, you showed me some pictures that time. Yeah. Hey, Cammy Schuster's watching. Hey, Cammy, we was just up near your gold panning area Sunday on a Bigfoot research. Angel says this. Punxsutawney was a halfway point for the Native Americans to their summer and winter hunting grounds. And I believe that. Yeah. You'll have to get a hold of me, Cammy, because there's some things I got to ask you about out that area anyhow. That had to be Murray.
That's Murray.
That's Murray. Or that's Mike Farton, one or the other. No, I think that's Mike Farton. But no, seriously, I thought that was her getting that. I went, oh my God. Me and Jamie's talked about fairies. And she's getting it. Well, she got them. And I got to hitch the chains to them and that. I got to get some kind of thing that I can hang them on at the conference.
Tell Beth it'll sell. They'll sell.
She says they will. And I believe her. And I saw them. They are nice. And
Gotta be one duck.
Tim Gayhart wants to know, Jamie, have you ever ran into a dog man when you've been in the woods?
I have not. No, I have not. But I've interviewed people that have had dogman encounters. There was one that was right on the Venango County line. It's Venango.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crawford,
Mercer County line. I'm sorry. Yeah, Crawford, Mercer County. And the girl was supposed to give us a drawing. This was with Brian Seach. You know, like we went out there and interviewed her. Really fascinating story because, like, she's a nurse, I'm not going to say her name, but she's a nurse, and she was leaving for work early in the morning and watched this thing barreling across an open field. And when it got to the ditch, it stood straight up, and she screamed for her boyfriend to go forward, and he went forward, and then they stopped, and this thing almost reached out and touched her door handle, and then it did like a leap across the road. So we were like excited taking that report, but it was kind of waiting for her to get the drawing to us, but she never did.
Yeah.
But I'm still in contact with her.
And Robbie asked, so what's the difference between fairies, pixies, elves, and sprites?
What's the difference? They're just all different. They're all different. I mean, like you have like leprechauns, it's in general, I think they use the word fae. It's fae. So like a pixie is basically just a different word for it. Like Iceland has a lot of stories about elves and fairies, and there's different parts of the world that have all these cool stories, like Ireland and Scotland.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just different names.
Tommy Cooper said, Jamie, you should do voiceover work. He's being serious. You have an interesting voice.
15.
Yeah.
I usually don't get that.
20.
Bill, I might have to leave because I think Murray's got to go out.
All right.
25.
Okay, I understand that. Murray rolls, buddy.
Thank you for having me on.
And thank you for being here.
Okay.
There. Who put this up? Let's see. Oh, Shane Spencer put this up. There was a lady speaker at Hawking Hills Bigfoot conference last year that told of her encounter. I wish she'd seen one up close.
Oh yeah, she was very cool to listen to.
And there's the elementals too. That Angel, how come your name's not coming up tonight? Usually, every night your name comes up. You must be on Facebook and not the YouTube. Man, she's seen two animals. But the thing is, too, with the fairy, the fays, as Jamie calls it, I haven't done much studying on that yet. And which is pretty interesting.
That's why.
Yeah, Cammy, I know you're on Facebook, but Facebook don't let the names come up for some reason, unless you agree to their policy or something. See, it comes up Facebook user. And if I don't look over at my phone here or over here, see who's on I look at this one, it tells me who's on YouTube. I look at this, tells me who's on my agents.
There. Jesus.
Quit fighting with your work.
My truck blew the heater, the blower motor fuse. I wasn't getting any heat out of it.
What elementals? You know what? Angel, I'm going to message you.
Okay, I'll walk back up. Good deal.
Angel, come online with us. I sent you the invite. And of course,
It's cold.
my book smart buddy does this. And he does. Probably does.
Brr.
Angel, are you coming online?
That light gonna go out?
And Mary, Fabian wrote this. Rocks have been found next to trees on every, with bang marks. There she is.
There it goes.
Hello.
All right. I brought you on for one main reason.
Listen, I
So,
didn't even
so
pull
you
my
can run
website
your
on.
mouth more. So you
Huh?
run your mouth some more. But no, seriously. What is elementals?
Okay, what an elemental is they are earth spirits. There's earth, fire, wind, water. So the ones that I've seen air and I've seen earth. Air is beautiful. The air elemental, she's beautiful. They are pretty much the protectors of all the elements of the earth. That's why they're called elementals.
Right.
They're more of a, they're more like the Fae do. They have, different leaders. And
Right.
these ones are considered the hierarchy. So air elementals are just absolutely breathtaking. If you think of the way wind would look, that's what they look like. They're very flowy. The one that I saw, she's just gorgeous. She'll take your breath away. I'm not too sure that's not what's leaving the footprints on my door. But she just floats like in the wind. No wings. She just floats. And then I've seen Earth. Earth, the best way I can describe that one, if you've watched The Lord of the Rings, they look like a hobbit. They're really short. They're kind of hairy and dirty looking. Okay. And they smell like dirty moss, like wet moss.
Like Mike.
Yeah, probably like mine. Anyways, and their face is like punched in and they got these little teeny tiny little slits for eyes. They're like really scary looking. Now, I've never seen water and I've never seen fire, and I really wish I could, but because I've seen the earth and the wind. But that's what an elemental is.
Okay. Yeah. I knew you can explain it better than I could. And no lie. But are you ready to talk about what might be happening in Punxsutawney or no? Not
Oh,
yet.
I don't care.
Lay it
talk
out there. Lay it out there. Explain
We
what's
can talk
happening.
about it. Okay, so
No, we're not talking about the groundhog people. That rodent's going to die.
okay, so if everything goes the way I'm planning it to go, knock on wood. I don't want to give the name yet of the building,
No.
but there's a big warehouse in Punxsutawney. I'm going to check out this week. I'm going to talk to the gentleman that owns it. He owns another haunted site. And if that goes on, I'm going to have a permanent location in Punxsutawney to do public ghost investigations, to take people into these big warehouses and stuff. I've encountered the spirits already there. So I'm super duper excited about this. And when I do, it's going to be the Ghost Chick and the Agents of the Unexplained bring you Paranormal Punxsutawney. Because not only are we going to cover the ghost in Punxsutawney, we're going to cover everything that goes on in Punxsutawney. I'm hoping to get like open, like some places have open mic night. Anybody that is around the Punxsutawney area that's had any encounters with the Dog Man, aliens, the Wendigo. There's a Wendigo apparently out at Fry Cemetery, which is one of my favorite places to go and talk to the
Yeah.
dead, but I've never seen the Wendigo there, but other people have. So I want to get them out there. So we're going to,
Thunderbirds.
yeah, the Thunderbirds and Punxsy. I
Yeah.
mean, this could be a big thing.
I'm
You
excited
know,
about it.
Mike, honestly, are you that cold?
It's freezing here. My truck lost heat.
You need to get some of those electric underwear you can plug into a 9-volt battery.
Yeah, but I can't. I'd probably electrocute myself because I lay in water a lot.
Hey,
And
they make those protective panties for that.
That's what happened two nights ago. A young girl ran her car into the middle of a swamp, and I had to trudge out there in waist deep water, carry her back to the highway, and then swim under her car to get my J hooks on it so that I could use the tow truck to winch it out of the swamp. So that's
see,
the kind of fun stuff I do in this weather. And
No, that's a
I
big no for
probably
me.
caught pneumonia.
I would have looked at her and
Then-
said, I wouldn't have carried her ass out. I would have hooked up and pulled her out.
I've been cold for 2 days. I've not been able to warm up yet. I've just been cold for 2 days.
I'd like to see him try to carry me out of a swamp.
Oh, God. Don't make me laugh. That's going to hurt my rib. This rib hurts bad as it is. But, oh, man. Yeah. You know, he can be cold. He's cold-hearted anyhow toward me.
Oh, here we go.
Uh,
We just haven't been able to warm up the past 2 days. It sucks.
Yeah, it does, brother. It does. The other thing about Ponzi, there is, like she says, there's so much other stuff going on. And I'm so happy she's bringing me in with this. Ponzi gets people from all over the world coming there because of Punxsutawney Phil. Everybody got to, yeah, come see that road. But Dave and Carrie Rupert was there last night. I saw pictures from Carrie. I was like, at least they're inside. I sure in hell ain't going to be outside in the cold.
You know, I've lived here my whole life. I've never been there once. Nope. Not one time. I usually pack my bags and I go somewhere else
Yeah.
for Punxsutawney week. I'm like, nope, you don't go near it. And the thing is, I don't understand because the only thing we have is a Walmart and it's not even a super center.
It's a mini super center, ain't it?
Yeah, it's like a mini super center, but we don't have crap there.
Yeah, because my old department manager went there when Walmart opened up in Punxsy. And because I was working at the Indiana, PA Walmart at the time. Nancy Armstrong, great lady.
Oh, I know who she is.
You know her?
Yeah,
Oh, she's a great lady.
she's a very
None
nice
but-
lady.
Yeah, none but respect for her. Next time you see her, you tell her I said hello.
Okay.
I
Bill and Mike. Mark comes in around the corner. He's like, she's in there talking again to something.
hi, Mark.
Mark, Bill says hi. He says, tell him hi back. He has to pee.
And all 780 viewers found that out. But the other thing with the paranormal that goes on there around Punxsy, like you said, that's the Indians' halfway point for them, traveling for summer to winter and all that. Even the wars, the Civil
Yeah.
War, the Revolutionary War, all came up through there.
But yeah, and Punxsutawney is actually, I think it's an Iroquois word,
Yep,
which means the sand flies or something like that.
yep. Eh,
Why are you poking me in the head?
Yeah,
No, I had a toe show up. I had to remove.
you're turning it down.
Yeah, it's way. This call has been hitting me all night. Okay, we got on a new tow platform, and it's where people can bid. Like, I want to pay this much to have my car towed. And then we can either accept it or reject it. Now, all the drivers had to do a survey. So if you was to tow a car from this city to this city, basic general idea how much would you charge, and then it gives all those averages so that the person knows about a range that they should bid. Well, they want me to go clear to the freeway on 71, 35 miles away, pick up a car, bring it all the way back here 35 miles for $90.
Oh,
And I've been turning it down all night, and it keeps hitting again. So this guy's been on the freeway for like 2 hours trying to get his car towed for $90, and like, no, I
That's
ain't
probably
doing
all he
it.
has. That's probably all he has. Have a heart.
I don't care. He'll. Oh well,
it's not going to pay
that's
the gas.
not my problem. I'm not a charity. I got to make money too. So $90. Let's see here.
Greedy.
It cost me $35 to $40 in diesel to do that tow. So leaves 50, and then the boss takes 40% of that, which leaves me with
20.
after taxes $35. So no, I ain't doing it for $90. I'll
Kinda
do
like
it
when
for one. What's that?
Kind of like when I used to drive truck. 3% of nothing is nothing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
exactly.
Dog in the mouth saying greedy, but no, he's right. The cost of fuel and the way the boss splits the money, he gets 40%, Mike gets 40%, and 10% goes to, or the 20% goes to the truck in case it breakdowns, whatever.
Yep.
So,
Which we just put a $3,000 Okay, this week, I'm ready for this week to be over. The transmission went out of the red truck, so there went $3,000. They sent us a bad transmission. So we had to take the transmission back out that we just put in it and trade it in for another transmission. Well, then the winch on the International broke. So we had to tear it apart and fix the winch. Well, then all my lights went out on the white truck. So I had to go through and fix all the lights. Then I took the van right across the street to the gas station, and I left a pool of oil the size of a basketball in the middle of their parking lot. So this thing blew a tranny cooler. And this week can seriously fuck off. I'm ready for this week to be over. It's been we're $20,000 this week is what we kicked out all in all. So
no, wait a minute.
not to mention
Wait a
our
minute.
driver
Stop.
that just
Time.
quit. What?
Stop. Time out. You blew what?
A tranny cooler.
You blew a tranny.
Cooler.
Oh, a cooler.
Yeah.
A tranny on a cooler.
Oh, here we go. No, my tranny cooler it broke.
Oh,
Well, then our driver that quit / got, if he didn't quit, he was going to get fired. So I think he kind of, I don't know. I don't know if he got quit or got fired. I still don't know. But we're missing $400 worth of equipment off of my truck. I was missing all my J hooks, 2 of my safety straps. All my equipment was gone off of my truck. My
I just bought
snatch
some on
block is
eBay.
gone. What's that?
I just got some on eBay.
It wouldn't shock me. That's probably where they ended up.
You
So
should have been watching eBay.
I really shouldn't have to, but I just bought damned equipment, my own now equipment for a truck that I don't even own, just to have as a backup.
And Mary Fabian said this.
It's not Friday yet. Yep.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm supposed to be off this weekend. I should just have tomorrow to go, knock on wood, but I can't guarantee that because it's me and you know how I am. So,
Hey,
you
I
know, my
remember-
luck goes.
I remember the last weekend he was supposed to be off. Remember that, Bill? And
Yep.
he was supposed to go to the woods and they got called into work.
I ran
Was that
double
the weekend that
weekends.
well went out?
Yeah, I've ran double weekends since October. So,
Oh. And Shane Spencer said this. And the deer stand stolen.
oh
Bad
yeah, and my deer stand, my tree stand got stolen. When I took Shane to an old ghost town in this place in Northern California last weekend. That's by
Okay.
my house.
Yeah.
And there's an old train depot down there. And I was showing him this old town that used to be there that literally nobody knows about.
Cool.
So
I bet it's haunted.
we was walking back through this marsh, and I was like, man, and then I'm standing there looking around, and he's like, what are you looking for? I was like, my tree stand's missing. He's like, what? And I was like, yeah, my tree stand. It was right there. So, yeah, someone stole my damn tree stand. You have until March 24th to pull your stands out of the woods.
Mhm.
I don't have to pull mine this year because someone done stole it. So,
Maybe they'll put it back next year.
yeah, I doubt it. But I have found mine before that way
Well,
because I drill a hole in the leg and I rivet a tag in them with my name on it. And I have found my own stand in a different part of the same hunting area. So I
Oh,
just
yeah.
stole it back. But yeah,
we I didn't have mine stolen, but down in Indiana County, up on Mulligan Hill, I had a place I hunted all the time. And I had my tripod stand sitting up on the side over here. I have a tree stand down over the hill over that way. And I'm in my tripod stand, and here comes this young kid, 13, 14 years old, just walking through the wood. He's in all orange, walking through the woods, walked right up to my stand. I went, the hell are you doing? I'm trying to push deer for my dad. So you walk up to another hunter's stand that
Yeah.
has a rifle, pushing
Right.
deer away from him. That's not very smart, young man. Where's your dad at? Oh,
yeah.
he's in a tree stand over the hill over here.
Ah,
I'm like, really? Here, let's go see him. Because I'm going to explain to him how dangerous it is for you to be walking that way.
no kidding.
I walk, he takes me right to him, right in my stand. I said, sir, what are you doing in my stand? Oh, I saw it wasn't you, so I figured it'd be all right. No, it's not. Especially when you send your son out to push deer that walked up to my other stand over the hill here.
Right.
I says, luckily, some of these rednecks that live around here would have shot his ass.
I've had 3 stands stolen and about, I want to say 19 trail cams over the
Yeah.
year. But we had a buddy system. There was 2 other guys that hunt that area. And we all put up stands. And we all made this pact. This don't know each other from Adam. We just made this deal. They showed me where their stands were. I showed them where my stands were. And the deal was, if I pulled in and I seen either of their vehicles, I wouldn't even go to that stand because one of them were in my stand, but I knew who was in it, so I'd go hunt their stand. And we just traded stands that way, and that was fun. It was fantastic to do that. I loved it. It was an absolute ball to do that. You just show up. Yeah, it was great.
Courtesy. That's just courtesy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, hey, you can hunt my stand if you don't see me. And I was like, well, you can hunt mine too.
I've done that.
Yeah, and you'd pull in, I'd see the guy's truck there, and be like, all right. So I'd go to the other stand, and the other guy might be in that one. And I'd be like, all right, I know where his is. So I'd just zip around and go hunt theirs. And yeah, it was fun.
I had mine too, man. And I told a couple guys they could use either or. And I always went past the one. Yeah. Good night, buddy. I always went past the one to get to the tripod one. If someone was up in that one, it's like, I'll look up, see who it is. If it's someone I know, it's fine. Or someone I gave permission. If it's someone I didn't give permission, I'll walk up and say, excuse me. And they were polite about it. I'll tell them, no, go ahead and stay. I got another one over here I'll go to. But they're a little smart ass and get out of my stand. And I'll still go to the other one. You know.
Get your ass out of my stand.
But you know, and I do that courtesy crap. Not crap, but I do the courtesy thing like that. Hunting and I kind of brought that into my researching too.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's how you're supposed to be.
Yeah, and
that's why I showed Shane Spencer my hot spots that I've never told you about.
Here we go. There we go.
Man, Mike.
Where you hang out?
California. I can't read that. I ain't got my damn reading glasses.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Well, me and Mike was in California last Saturday. We saw a 3-toed squatch with a booger hanging out his nose. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
That's true. And he killed a raccoon.
I should have killed a damn groundhog.
No, he killed a raccoon. And it was a big raccoon. I mean, I think this raccoon would have put up a scrap even for Bigfoot. But this was a big ass raccoon just laying there dead right in the middle of the trail. No bullet holes that we seen, nothing like that. And it wasn't far from where we had found a deer kill of some kind.
Well, I ain't going there. I'll behave. But no, I did a live real quick saying there was a sighting today of a Bigfoot chasing a groundhog. I think he wanted to use him as toilet paper. I did that on the Pennsylvania Bigfoot Project page. So Mary started throwing up different memes of that Bigfoot.
Yeah, but this has been going on, Groundhog Day is from 1888 or something like that?
Yep.
And all it is
a drunk fest.
It's a drunk fest. That's what it used to be. I mean, Groundhog Day used to be fun here. You know, everybody would get drunk and go up there, and everybody be up there naked on Gobbler's Knob in the wintertime, you know. You can't do that no more. They took all the fun out. But that's all it is.
You're not allowed to get drunk or not allowed to get naked?
Both.
Oh, jeez. But
yeah. Took all the fun out of it.
It's always too damn cold for me to go.
You can still do it out west. If you go out to the hot springs. Yeah, last time I was out there, it was not cool. Because there was this old couple, and I mean old couple. And they were like ready to get out the hot springs. And I don't want to see no wrinkly ass old man. I mean, I don't want to see Bill Rigby getting out of a hot spring.
I knew my name was getting thrown out there.
I was going to be nice and I turned my back. And when I turned back around, they're still sitting there. And it's like, what are you doing? And the lady, she's like, I'm waiting for you guys to get naked and get in before I get out. I want to see you. And my buddy, without missing a beat, doesn't give a rat, just starts ripping his clothes off, strips down, jumps right in there, gives her a good old show, a nice little thrill. And I'm like, are you shitting me? It's like, I'm going for a hike. I'll be back. So, yeah. He didn't give her, he's like, dude, you're leaving me? And I'm like, yeah, you're damn right. I'm out of here. I'll see you later. I'm going to go hike the loop around. I'll be back. Like, this old lady was just waiting for us. I mean, she was like in her 70s. She just wanted to see us get naked.
Randy, he says
I had a
Groundhog
fun-
Day is not fun for Bill Murray, and that's true.
This is true.
It's not
But
fun for
yeah.
us either.
But anyhow, I'm going to get out of here, folks. I got to go take some Tylenol or something and put some ice on this.
Ice it and heat it.
Yeah. I'm going to feel it tomorrow. I know it. Yeah. I'll pay the piper.
Yep. You get
Was
too
you
old
eating
to
the
fall.
hot wings again?
No, if I'm falling and bruising a rib.
Oh, from your, yeah. Well, falls are a little bit more traumatic for elderly. So,
Shut the hell up, Mike. You never did say I liked you.
did you fall on your ass? Because you might need some preparation H too.
No, I
I'm
felt
just throwing
kind
it
of
out there. I was just throwing it out there. A friendly reminder that you also might need some preparation H.
No, Mike. He fell on his face. That's why we can't tell.
That's why he needs the preparation H.
With that being said,
Oh, I see.
I see how it goes.
yeah, you want to mess with me? I'll put the outro on there without saying goodbye.
Ooh, actually
Well,
starting
I
to warm up a little.
I will say I can't wait to see y'all in March.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of nervous now.
Why?
Mike's still coming.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm the one making the event worth attending. I mean, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have sold half of
Hey,
the.
wait a minute.
no.
The one and only Peter and Han, Albert Walker is here. He's the one that was with us at Let Us Ball because he'd rather play dog. Oh, God, that hurts. I'm making myself laugh.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, shit. This hurts. No, poor Albert. He didn't even see us fall, thank God. He probably would have took pictures. Oh, man.
Well, I can't wait for March. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Albert called me a smart ass. It is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it now. You know, I'm still a little nervous. I don't know. It's a big
I
event.
hate to say it because I'm not trying to jinx you and I'm not trying to be a smartass or anything like that. But I think everyone I've ever talked to who's done one of these says the closer it gets, it's like with every day the nerves go up a little more, and the day before is like biting nails and stuff. And I mean, I'm not trying to mess with you or anything, but
He is messing with you. I think it's going to go along splendidly.
I think it will. It usually goes a lot smoother than people think in their own mind. It's
Actually,
like once
you know,
it's over.
Yeah, I'm nervous, Mike. I'm not lying. I'm nervous, but
Oh, I don't doubt it.
yeah, but I'm getting
I will
such a
be
great
too once it gets closer.
but I getting such a great response to this.
Yeah,
It makes me feel good. And you know, the things people have been saying about it and that
right.
it really makes me feel really good. So
It should.
it's keeping my nerves calmed down. And with all honesty, I don't know. I just can't wait for it to be here.
It should. I mean, it's going to be a huge crowd turning out for this event that you're putting on. And I mean, that's no pressure at all. That you put on this little event that blew up into this great big thing with 87 vendors, 5,000 attendees, people pissed off at the door because the seats are full. I mean, you shouldn't have any pressure on you for an event that big. To blow up a new event, to blow up that huge and go that bizarrely big in that short of a span of time shouldn't be any pressure on you whatsoever.
It ain't. Because the more the people come, the better it is.
Exactly. It's the after the show conversations in the parking lot. When I did my speaking event at Hocking Hills, that's what made the whole damned event for me. It wasn't the speaking part. It was being out in the parking lot and having people, those little interact. That's what made it worthwhile to me.
Well,
that was fantastic.
I'm going to take the speakers out to eat afterwards.
And the MC.
Yeah, you can tag along.
Damn it. This guy actually is making me buy a ticket to get in, and I'm emceeing the damn thing. You tightwad.
Now listen, if you would go on the Ghost Chicks page, okay, and put on there what your biggest fear is, I could potentially pull your name for a free bundle.
Oh, I see.
Just saying.
There you go.
Hey, actually,
Join the contest.
she is running that contest.
All right, yeah, throw that out there.
Yeah, she is running this
did.
contest. You have to win March 1st.
March 1st.
Actually,
And what
February
page?
28th.
On the Ghost Chicks group on Facebook.
Well, yeah, you're
On
going
the
to go ahead and
Facebook
buy the
page,
tickets,
okay.
but I'm quit selling the bundles February 28th.
Okay,
All right. But she's drawing it on March 1st.
nice.
And she's going to award what, the two ticket bundle?
Yep.
To whoever writes up what their biggest fear in life is.
Okay.
What's their biggest fear? I was going to do something else. I might do another thing later here. But
There you go.
right now, it's the biggest fear.
Giveaway contests are always fun.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I thought it would get the conversation started with people because they're really, really quiet on my page for some reason. Nobody wants to say crap. They just come and looky-loo. You know?
They just want to see ghosts.
Yeah, they just want to see a ghost.
Maybe you should, in the future, think about doing these broadcasts or something, even if it's only like a quarterly event or a month. You don't have to keep with it religiously. Like my podcast, I used to do one weekly. Now I do one whenever I feel like it, and I just put out a new episode. I don't care anymore. I'm not even trying to keep up with it.
I try to do it live whenever I'm here we go again. Whenever I'm out investigating or something, I always go on live and tell them where I'm at and what we're looking for, and and then I'll check in once in a while during the investigation because it's not like I can really do a whole lot of talking when I'm trying to do an EVP. I can't have a podcast,
right.
Yeah.
So you should do a sit down question and answer with your page and get get people engaged in what. My page used to be quiet a lot until I started doing that, and then people wanted to engage. And
Mm-hmm. Well, I did it when I was at Crescent. Crescent was a good one.
Okay.
Randy, that's my biggest fear too. Randy Heath puts up, my biggest fear is seeing Bill getting loved by Bigfoot. That's my biggest fear too. That's why I go with people that's slower than me. I can outrun them.
You need you need a Bob. You know,
Yeah.
Bob, who like lives in his mom's basement, and he's
Yep.
40 years old with the bad knee that you can knee sweep and book it. I take
Yep.
him on bear hunting trips everywhere. Me and Bob go everywhere, and I always take a Bob with me.
Always.
So, yep.
That's why I took Albert and Gary with me.
I have a Bob, but that's a totally different thing.
Battery operated boyfriend.
Yeah. I take him everywhere with me too.
I'm sorry. I tried not to say it. Forgive me, Lord.
Oh, shoot.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh,
never
my
mind.
Oh my God. Okay, folks.
I got a question though. Have you ever set one of those out on a ghost hunt just to see if something messed with it? Because I know people are always, they're trying EVPs and different things, and
Hey, you know
some
what?
people. Yeah, I mean,
That's a
it's
good
just
idea. I might take it with me next time.
well, I was down when I was
Wait a
stationed.
minute. What do you mean next time? You said you take it every time.
Not to those.
Well, where do you keep it at when you take it?
I was
Especially on a ghost hunt.
Well,
when
Oh
I
my
was
God, we become a
stationed-
Howard Stern station. Jesus. Lord
Well, I
help
was
us.
stationed down in Gulfport, Mississippi, and me and some guys wanted to go see a haunted plantation. So we went out to this plantation, and we were walking around, and there was a chamber, which was probably the worst place I've ever been in my life. But under this house, there was like a dungeon with chains and shackles in the wall.
Oh yeah.
But then I found out later in the tour, so then I didn't feel as bad. It was part of the Underground Railroad. And when you was helping those slaves, sometimes they were being pursued. So you hid them, but you still gave the persona that they were slaves. So they got chained and shackled to the wall. And they was talking about the different things of the house, and they said there was a ghost, and it was a female, and she normally appeared when people were in the shower. And I just made the joke, is she hot? Because if she is, I'm going to go take a shower. And so, yeah, that's what made me think of if you ever set one out on an investigation, because, yeah.
yeah. Well, I tell you what, when I worked at the Farnsworth House in Gettysburg.
No, wait one second. I got to say this while it's still fresh in my mind. He said he made it a joke. We know he's lying. He is lying. He's being serious. He wanted to get bonded.
I was in my 20s. The hot
He
ghost
wanted
chick I would
bonded by
never
a
turn
ghost.
down, so.
He ain't lying. He wanted bonded by a ghost. Okay,
Hey,
go ahead.
what happens?
I was in my 20s. If she was hot, I wouldn't have cared. But yeah, I mean, I just threw it out there as a joke. And
even if she wasn't hot, you still would have done it. But anyhow,
as long as she wasn't your age.
Well,
that wouldn't have stopped you either.
I worked at the in guest services behind the guest desk, and I checked people in and out and all that, and then did the tours and did the ghost investigations there and everything. I mean, I was there all the time. So I had this girl staying in the one room, the Jenny Wade room, and it was in the garden area. And she was like, I don't believe in ghosts, blah, 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 and they went out all day and they were hiking and stuff. And they were shopping. Well, they went back to their rooms, and her mom and her aunt was in the opposite side of the garden room, which was the Custer room.
Okay.
So they were all going in, and they were getting all cleaned up and stuff to go out to eat. That poor girl in the Jenny Wade room come running out with her towel wrapped around her and a turban on her head,
Oh,
because
geez.
she was soaking wet. Something had grabbed her in the shower by her face and pushed her head back into the water.
Oh, okay.
And held her in the corner of the shower, and she finally got loose and ran out, and she would not go back in that room. I went over there. I looked all over the place. I couldn't find anything. Well, the one corner of the rug was flipped up a little bit, but I think maybe it was her trying to get the hell out of there as fast as she could. But
Right.
I mean, she was terrified. And I've had people, something has crawled in bed with them. Something shakes the bed there. I mean, that place is crazy. So, yeah.
Dan Aykroyd
Yep.
talked about that. The house that he lives in, he said there's a very caring ghost who will just crawl in bed and spoon with them. And that's all it does. It just, not a nightly thing, but just once in a while jumps in bed and spoons with them. It just wants to cuddle, I guess.
Yeah. Well, there was the one in my house when I stayed there. He had one leg and he would stand over my bed and look at me. And I'd wake up and I'd be like, dude, not tonight. I have a headache.
Oh, geez.
And then I'd roll over.
Josh Edgley goes, did you hear about the little girl I got on thermal last year at Saltport Camp? He also heard her voice. No,
Yeah.
I did not hear about that. Did you?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And
Oh, man. See, I'm going to have to come to that camp, Bill.
yes, you are.
Well,
What's the worst ghost to
Saltport.
see, younger or older?
what's that?
I don't know.
I
don't-
can't
what do you
read
mean?
that, Bill. What's that?
the
What's
worst
the worst
ghost? What's the
Oh.
worst ghost to see? That's from Mr. Peter and the Hand Walker.
I don't know, Mr. Peter and the Hand Walker. I like to see them all, so I can't answer that. I like to see them all. I guess
No, seriously, Albert. What do you mean? Mean-wise or what?
Yeah, like the Mansfield Reformatory can be a rough ass place. I mean, there's some evil in that building for sure, but there's also some non-evil in it. But there's some evil in that building. There really is.
I would think, maybe he's asking what's the worst to see, because I mean, little kids aren't supposed to.
Right.
They're not supposed to leave this earth. You're supposed to outlive the young. So
Yeah.
I guess, for something that would hit me in the feels, it would be little people. I mean, I've come across a lot of them. Last year at the lunatic asylum down in West Virginia,
The
that little
Trans-Allegheny.
boy that I caught, he was just standing in the corner and he was like, how little kids do that jig, like they can't
yeah.
stand still,
Yeah.
and their arms are always, and he was like that, but and he was like, I don't even how to say that politically correctly, but he was like a mongoloid type child.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he probably was there because, he needed to be in that place, because of his
Right.
health issues and stuff. And I don't think he understands what's going on at all. That one was
Right.
probably the worst one for me, because I felt bad for him, because there's really nothing I can do for him, because he's too off grid to even explain, about go to the
Yeah.
light, or, do you understand that you are not here anymore? Do you understand you've passed? So those ones are the worst ones.
It's kind of like towing. Like if I get called out on a fatal accident and it was a drunk driver who just made a stupid mistake, I don't care. That doesn't faze me a bit. That's self-inflicted. But the other night I had a very young lady who was a new driver. She was on the side of the road with a flat tire waiting on a tow truck. A drunk guy came barreling ass down the road over the speed limit, lost it on a turn, and killed her instantly. And towing that car messed with me. I wept when I got back to the shop.
Yes.
I just, that one really, really hit me bad. It really did.
The worst
Yeah.
thing I had happen when I was on an ambulance was the 5 young teenagers that were in this car accident. They were flying and they ended up rolling it. We found 4 of them. Everyone was thrown out.
Right.
We found 4 of them. We're looking for the 5th because people that came up to the accident scene, there was 5 of them in the car. We found him probably about 75 yards away from the road near a church.
Oh, wow.
Right, laying there. Every one of them were gone.
Right.
And that bothered me. That
Yeah.
one bothered me because they were all so young. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. And, you know, the
16,
traumatic
17, 18. That was hard. That was really hard on me. But I had one experience with a 6-month young baby, and I was the emergency first responder. I went ahead of the ambulance. I get there, I go in, the baby's turning blue, wasn't breathing, no pulse. I started CPR. By the time the ambulance got there, Linda, the paramedics coming through the door, and I had him alive.
Yeah.
He was
God bless.
breathing. He's in his 20s now.
Yeah. That's
And
what offsets on towing was like the young lady
right
that.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That right here, Betty. That makes me feel
Yeah.
so great. And,
Yeah.
But the thing is, I just hope those kids gone through the light, those 5.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a horrible accident. 5 families, because none of the kids were related. They were all friends. 5 different families, 5 different funerals, and it was sad. It was sad. So, yeah, Mike,
Well, see,
I can understand that.
But that's like what I talk about with people. With a traumatic death like that happens, like, in the blink of an eye, like with even that young lady,
Yeah.
a lot of times, like my grandmother just passed last week, she was old. She was 88. She was good with the Lord. We knew she was going. So when she went, I was like, see ya. I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah.
Baby.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's been a good one. High five, off to the other side. But when
Yeah.
it's like that, they didn't have time to do their last stuff like somebody else might have, and even if you're like dying from cancer, my dad did, but my dad made good with everybody before he went. He talked to everybody. He knew where he was going. He knew what was happening,
Right.
but when it's traumatic, like war, or you get run over, like that poor young lady did, or like those young men did, they had no idea that was coming.
Right.
A lot of times those are the ones that have the hardest time crossing.
Right.
Because they are not prepared. And it's hard for them to take that last final leap
Do
into
not
that.
pull one
And
here.
that's the other thing I got a problem with. They're young and they're like, why am I like this? Why?
Yeah.
They had no fears. The kid that was driving was speeding really, really fast. They estimated around 100 miles an hour. And when he wrecked. All right. And so, yeah, they all got killed instantly. The spirits are probably saying, what happened here? Why? I'm not dead yet. And stuff like that. And I always thought about that.
Those are the
just
ones
weird.
I come across the most. The ones that went so quickly and traumatically, and they're not really sure what happened. You know,
Yeah.
they seem like they're really confused on what is going on. And some of them, you know, some of them take it in stride that, okay, this happened. And now, okay, yeah, I understand, you know, and I get that feeling from them that, okay, and or they'll talk to me on the spirit box or whatever. And I can see their expressions, you know, like the light came on, like, oh, you know, and sometimes I never see them again. But like the ones in Gettysburg, and that's why people are like, oh, Gettysburg. Well, yeah, because those guys were all fighting for something that they believed in on both sides, and they died
Yeah.
so quickly. You know, I think a lot of them are still fighting. So a lot of them don't even want to hear that they're gone. So they're stuck here so long they get stuck permanently. I think
Right.
you really have just a small finite time to actually pass somebody to the other side. That's how I believe it.
Yeah, I get that. 'Cause I generally don't talk about it often, but when I had my motorcycle accident, the Highway State Patrol wanted to talk to me bad. They had to figure out what in the hell happened, of course. And I described the scene of the accident to a T. I described where I was laying. I described where my wife was, what way her head was, what way her feet was, what way my head was. And he's like, how do you know that? And I was like, well, you're going to think I'm nuts, but I seen it. And he's like, what do you mean you seen it? And I told him it was like being in a helicopter looking down at the accident scene. That's what I saw. I saw me. I saw my wife. I saw the motorcycle. I saw the SUV that went left the center and hit us head on. I seen the little girl standing beside the SUV that I face planted in the windshield in front of her. I seen the old lady that was driving the car standing by the little girl. I seen the two people, the blonde-haired lady and the dark-haired guy that were attending to me. I seen the three people up the road that were attending to my wife. And I seen my wife's pant pocket where it got ripped off of her pants laying on the roadway. And I seen the scratches. And I described all that to the... And what threw the Highway State Patrol off, because the doctors asked me, do you know why you're in the hospital? And I told them, I have no idea. Like, well, you was in a motorcycle wreck. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't even own a motorcycle. They're like, well, you was in a motorcycle wreck. Couldn't have been. I don't even own a motorcycle. Well, then, you know, after a couple days, everything in my head, because I had either a triple concussion and a double or a triple and a double. So either I don't know how. I lost a big part of that day. But that was the first memory that came back, was that it was like I was in a helicopter looking down at the accident scene, and I described it to a T, and that blew the state boy's mind. He's like, how in the hell can a guy come into a hospital that doesn't own a motorcycle, but can describe the entire scene to a T exactly how I found it? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I can just tell you what I saw. And like, I don't know if it was a dream. I don't know if I was awake. I don't know what happened, but I know that I came to for a second, and that's what I seen. And yeah, it just blew his mind that I saw that. Because I was ripped away. I mean, I was dead on Apple Valley Drive. They life-flighted my wife first because they knew they could save her. She had more traumatic body injury. I had more brain dead injury. I had the more trauma because I threw her away from the bike as I face planted on the car. So it was either that or get decapitated by a bunch of mailboxes. I didn't have a choice in that wreck, but I did have the ability to pitch the bike sideways and take the hit on me, which is exactly what I did. And so I got the worst of it traumatically.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was a bad accident. That was very bad. But it answers a lot of questions too.
But
I won't go there.
Here we go.
There we go.
Here we go.
So that's what happened to his brain. But anyhow,
Yeah.
Josh said about it. It's also hard because inhuman spirits trying to trap those spirits from moving on. I don't know about that. What do you got to say about that, Angel?
No. You know how I feel about that. You know, so I always tell people there's 3 different types of hauntings. Okay, there's residual, which happens, on a loop. You know, you can never stop that. It's just same thing all the time. There's intelligent, and then there's demonic, which is something that's never learned, never been on this earth. And if you're talking about demonic spirits trying to keep people on earth, no. And maybe because I've never come up against one or whatever, I believe, maybe somewhere out here there may be, but I honestly think the longer a spirit is trapped on earth, okay, and it's especially if it is one of those intelligent ones, the longer they're here, the angrier they get and the more stubborn they get to move on.
Yeah.
I call bull crap on demons all the time. People are like, oh, I was possessed once. No, you weren't. You had a bellyache. If you were really, truly possessed, you would be gone, because a possession is a terrible, terrible thing. I mean, I've read about them, researched them, because like I said the other night, Bill, I want to be prepared when it happens. I read all the time. If you guys can see, I can't see my book shelf back there. That's all I do. I read about religion and demons and angels and spirits and everything, because I want to know. I want to understand all this stuff. And, I really do call bull crap on inhuman spirits all the time. I really do.
While remembering this, Sibel, she has a metaphysical shop here in Hermitage.
Mm-hmm.
She had a ghost in her house. I think she still does. I don't want to say for sure on that. Ed Kellerman investigated it. He's one of the speakers at the conference. He wrote it in the book, and he dedicated the book to Sibel. And he'll have them at the conference for sale. But she has some at her shop. I'm getting one tomorrow. And definitely get one. I've got to read that book. Ed has been on a lot of investigations, and he's wrote about them. She's digging for a book.
Yeah, I don't know crap about ghosts. I know I've had some weird stuff happen when I was growing up that I've never talked about and probably still won't, but I don't know anything about that realm. I've always been into Bigfoot. That's always just been my niche, I guess, if I had to have one.
It has been your niche, that's for sure.
This one, I love this one. I've read this like 12 times. It's called The Demonologist. It's a story about Ed and Lorraine Warren. They're my heroes. They're the ones that really opened up about paranormal investigating, from the 60s and on, because there was so much stuff that was going on. The Conjuring House, they were there. The Amityville Horror House.
Wow.
Ronnie LeFay and that. They did all of that. And those ones, I really do believe, the stuff that was going on at the Amityville house, that definitely was some sort of demon. So, but I think people think all the time, like every little bad thing is a demon, and it's not. It's got to be a very rare occurrence. And that's what Ed Warren says in his book. Most of the times, whenever he would go out, it is more just an unrested spirit. He has come across those so many more times than he has a true demon. And, it took the Catholic Church, they are the exorcism people. They've been doing this since the beginning. And They do so much research that I want to get in the Vatican and hide in the library. So bad. That is like, I would love to do that because the research they do.
Saturday I'm going to be in this room that has so much research and papers and books, and my wife might not get me out of there.
You'll never get home.
Well, at your age, it won't be long.
Shut
But
up.
like even
I'm going to Brian Seach's
Ah,
Saturday, so I'm looking forward to this to get in the S-File room.
I used to have one of those until I took my hiatus, and then everything went and I kicked myself in the ass for that. But yeah, everything I had went in a dumpster. All my papers, all my research, 10, 20 years worth of shit, just threw it all away where I'd never come back.
Yep.
And then here I
There
am
you
on the Agents of the Unexplained podcast. I'm moving up in the world.
Yes, you are. But anyhow, hey, we got to go. It's 9:00.
yeah, it's past my bedtime.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah,
I gotta go.
He's probably going to start hitting me. It's about that hour, so
Yeah, and I got to go ice this rib. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for jumping in, Angel and Mike.
yeah.
And Jamie, if you're listening,
Jamie.
Jamie, I appreciate it very much. And all our listeners out there, you are appreciated. And what the hell is Mike doing now?
I'm back in the rollback. I'm going to head home.
Oh, okay. So you all have a great night. Stay safe. And remember, keep it creepy, and paranormal's the new normal. I had to say that for you, Angel.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This has been an Agents of the Unexplained original podcast. Like us on Facebook, subscribe and view on YouTube, and please visit our store link in the bio. Thank you for listening, and remember that paranormal is the new normal.